Social encounters are good for us. Casual interactions boost our general well-being. A brief talk with a coffee shop worker or a neighbor can help build community. But for the person who hates small talk, this just feels wrong. If quick chats boost mood, why do they make you feel so lonely? The problem lies in what you think the conversation is for. For people who like it, small talk is a simple bridge between strangers. For you, you often perceive such exchanges as staying on the bridge forever. You are waiting patiently to cross into solid meaning. The other person seems happy to stand on the bridge forever. It feels like a long introduction to a conversation that never starts. What you really want is self-disclosure. You want to share your truth. This is how you naturally form bonds. You easily skip past the shallow waters of polite talk. Honest sharing is the only thing that gives you energy. Science fully supports this basic instinct. Openly sharing real feelings increases liking between folks. Studies prove that people who share deeper thoughts are liked much more than quiet peers. This clear research also proves that deep honesty builds much human warmth. You already know this down in your bones. You cannot really know a person by asking about their weekend. You know them by learning their true goals, hardest choices, and biggest regrets. When you guide a chat toward heavier topics, you are not just being difficult. You only want to build a real connection right then. Depth is a basic rule that you need. There is also a strong mental reason for this preference. It is an intellectual hunger to think deeply. Psychologists call this the need for cognition. You naturally want to do heavy mental work. More importantly, you actually enjoy doing that heavy mental work. A high need for cognition simply means you like to think hard. People high in this trait enjoy intellectually challenging conversations. They also feel profoundly bored by routine pleasantries. This does not mean you are smarter. It is only about how your brain naturally relaxes. Normal chit-chat takes zero mental effort. It follows a predictable script and offers no new information. For someone with this trait, small talk is painful. It is like asking a fast runner to jog slowly in a tiny room. Your mind is built to explore complex ideas. When you trade polite cliches, your brain shuts down from extreme boredom. You only relax when the talk becomes mentally alive. You feel good when you challenge beliefs and explore messy, inner worlds. This brings us to the quiet pain of the small talk habit. It is the feeling of leaving your true self behind. Small talk acts like a strict play where everyone has a specific role. You might play the polite coworker or the happy neighbor. You must say your lines perfectly. For some, this mask is light and easy to wear. For others, it feels incredibly heavy and completely fake. You dislike small talk because it forces you to perform. It forces you to pretend you care about things you do not care about. This slowly damages your self-trust, because humans need to be real. One big study looked at social media users to prove this. The authors found that people who express themselves authentically report higher life satisfaction. When we hide our true thoughts to be polite, we pay a hidden price. For those who crave depth, shallow pleasantries can feel like self-abandonment. Every fake laugh hurts a little bit. You spend huge amounts of hidden energy holding back who you really are. Given the choice, you would much rather sit in a quiet, honest silence. It is important to separate this need for truth from mental health labels. Hating small talk does not mean you have a condition. Society often confuses being picky about friends with having social anxiety. Introversion is a personality trait related to social energy. Social anxiety is a mental health condition characterized by fear of negative judgment. If you avoid small talk, you might simply be socially selective rather than anxious. You are protecting your social energy. You choose to spend it on deep talks instead of empty noise. You are not afraid the other person will judge you. You just really do not care about the boring script they are reading. For some folks, this dislike is deeply physical. Small talk often happens in loud places like busy offices or crowded events. Trying to block out background noise takes immense mental energy. Reading quick facial expressions while processing sounds is very hard. This can make you feel completely exhausted. We see this in neurodivergent populations. Autism is described as a diverse neurodevelopmental condition characterized by difficulties in social interaction and communication. Disliking small talk does not mean you have autism. However, it may reflect a lower threshold for social noise and sensory processing differences. You might easily feel the hidden emotions in a room. You might notice when someone's words do not match their body language. This fast, unspoken social dance feels like loud static to a sensitive brain. You quickly notice when someone is being fake. You react with mental annoyance and deep physical tiredness. Your body demands that you retreat to quieter, honest spaces. What is the cost of this trait? If you refuse small talk and demand deep conversation, will you end up alone? Psychological research offers a comforting answer. They show that happier individuals spend less time alone and have more meaningful conversations. It proves that well-being is related to having less small talk and more meaningful conversations. When you steer a conversation toward deep topics, you are moving toward true happiness. Your craving for depth is a highly protective tool for your own mental health. You cut through the noise to find the signal because the signal keeps you going. However, human behavior is never perfectly simple. Later research replicates earlier work and shows something interesting. While quality conversations boost well-being, small talk is not negatively related to happiness. Small talk neither harms nor boosts well-being, but it can pave the way to deeper dialogue. It is just neutral ground. For many people, it serves a vital purpose. We do not usually walk up to strangers and ask about their childhood grief. We use small talk to test the waters and gauge safety. We use it to see if the other person wants to swim in deep waters with us. You do not need to erase small talk. Just look at it differently. It simply unlocks the door before you enter the house. If you dread polite chats, you carry a burden. You live in a world built for quick interactions. You will often feel out of step with the rhythm of the room. Others will sometimes think you are cold, distant, or overly intense. You will frequently leave parties feeling totally unfulfilled. You wonder why others enjoy conversations that leave you starving. But knowing how your own mind works changes everything. Your dislike for small talk is the natural result of a high need for cognition. It is a fierce commitment to your own truth. It is a human drive toward real connection. You do not lack social skills. You simply refuse to accept a hollow imitation of friendship. You are willing to sit in awkward silence if it saves you from the exhaustion of pretending. Now picture yourself in a bright kitchen at a party. Music plays softly. The room is loud with overlapping chatter. Someone walks up, smiles politely, and asks how your week has been. You smile back. You give the standard answer. You say work is busy and the weather is strange. They nod and offer a similar polite comment. You realize you are taking part in normal human connection, and inside, a quiet acceptance settles over you. A calm feeling gathers behind your eyes. Your social battery does not empty out now. You do not hate people. You do not dislike this person. You know this exchange is perfectly natural. It is just a paper napkin before dinner. You look around, no longer wanting an exit from this shallow loop. You patiently wait for this stranger to drop the script. You welcome the deep conversation. If you saw a piece of yourself in these quiet reflections, consider joining us. You can subscribe to the channel for more videos on human psychology. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for taking the time to listen.